James. They're downstairs right now watching television. And, of course, they wanted to meet Busted. But before we speak to them, oh, we're teasing you, here's a look at what it is that gets their fans in such a frenzy. Now, here are the boys, and they are normally a little noisier than that. I do apologise, we've had a typical gremlin in the machine. But here they are, Matt, James and Charlie. It's lovely to meet you guys.
Thank you very much.
And you have given the girls downstairs so much pleasure. They are thrilled.
Very excited.
They saw you come in today, and they're longing to see you as you go out. So if you could give them a wave, that would be wonderful.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, you just got back from the States.
Yeah, I've been back about a week now.
How did that go?
It was very long, and we were there for 6 weeks, and just on the road, and we've been doing an MTV series that's been kind of documenting our path in America.
I mean, it's very, very hard to crack America. You guys know that. A lot of bands have gone over and just disappeared. Even Robbie Williams can't crack it.
Everyone says that to us, like, for some reason.
Well, even Robbie.
everyone name drops Robbie Williams whenever we talk about
well, I was actually, I mean, for my sins, I was Take That's official biographer, so I followed the whole Take That story when they were nothing to when they became a huge, huge band. I mean, I know you don't like the comparison, because you're a different kind of band, but it's interesting to see what happened to those guys. Robbie, of course, became a stratospheric star, but even he hasn't cracked America, and yet there is a buzz about you guys out there that means you could actually do it. I mean, that must be very exciting for you.
I think there's a lot of bands have a problem with starting again, you know, because if a band gets success here and they go out there and literally no one knows we are out there, which we actually quite liked. We like starting again, and I think if you're not prepared to do that, then you're not going to...
Yeah, why do you think you're not a boy band? I'm quite intrigued by this. I mean, you seem quite angry about this. You don't like being linked to wannabe.
You know, the reason is like, because boy bands usually consist of, you know, more than 3 members. They normally dance. They normally don't write their own songs. They normally don't play instruments. And all those things we do, and it's different, you know. I mean, everyone tries to be technical about it. Oh, technically they are a boy band, but like it's all nonsense, you know. Boy bands sing and dance.
I think Busted is just a band that plays pop music.
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing about Busted was you turned down Simon Cowell as your manager. I mean, that's one of the great all-time things I've ever heard.
You managed too many boy bands.
But you didn't turn down an invitation to Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion while you were in
No, didn't turn that one down.
Have you ever been?
I certainly have not.
Oh,
no.
So what's it like? What's it like?
It's kind of everything you expect it to be. It's kind of like, I don't know, there's this...
Well, what I expect is big busted women in very small bikinis.
It's more classy than that.
Yeah, well,
I think classy.
Everyone says that. Come on,
we were walking around the tour, and we were all like, we expect it to be a lot more tacky. So
you get a tour.
Yeah, we got to do it from the Playmates.
What else do you get, guys? I mean, someone who hasn't been there.
I want to hear about the tour. Where do they start you, and where do they take you to?
Well, we sort of went all around and stuff. We went to the famous games room and the grotto.
Well, what does the games room look like?
The games room is like, it's got loads of pinball machines and stuff, and sort of a pool table and stuff. But then it's got these back rooms.
The make-out rooms.
It's a family show, this, guys. Right, okay. Be careful where the grotto goes here.
And then he has a random zoo in his back garden.
He's got a zoo.
A zoo?
Yeah.
What does he have in the zoo?
Monkeys, flamingos.
Yeah, walking around. They just have these flamingos walking around the garden. It's like...
Fantastic. And the grotto, is that the swimming pool bit?
That's the inside swimming pool place,
yes, and?
It's cool, man. I never thought in my life I'd ever be there, so it's kind of like, wow.
Is it, I mean, I picture that to be all mirrored and little lit fountains.
No, it's kind of, yeah, it's got lit fountains and stuff, but it's really hot. They said it was to encourage people to take their clothes off.
Yes, I can imagine that, yes. Did you see Hugh's inner sanctum, so to speak?
Honestly,
you seem very keen on this. You want to go, don't you?
All women are fascinated.
A lot of people don't actually get to go inside the house. I mean, we didn't get to have a tour around the whole of the house, but we went inside the house and we met Hef.
Yeah, Hef strolls down in his robe.
Oh, yes.
This crimson robe.
Yeah.
What's he like, Hugh Hefner, I mean, as a bloke?
I just think it's funny that you've got this 70-year-old guy that's still very active.
78, isn't he?
You think, like, there's hope for all of us?
It's funny that this guy is like 70 and he's still kind of, you know,
Does you think he gets bored though now? Oh God, another
Yeah, I
10
would've
funny
thought so.
girls.
He doesn't seem very bored, I have to
No.
say, the video I've seen. I mean, what's it like for
The
you guys? I
video
mean,
you've seen.
I've seen plenty of videos from Hugh Hefner's. If you read a daily tabloid paper, trust me, you get to see the Hugh Hefner videos. Not pretty. I mean, for you guys, I mean, this must be a bit of a dream. It's a cliche, but look at you. You've got screams outside. You've got grins the size of Cherie Blair on your faces. And life just can't get any better. You're about to crack America. Does any part of you think, you know something, we've seen a lot of bands come and go here, we've got to be careful because one day,
Yeah,
bang,
definitely.
it goes.
I mean, for example, like you get to the stage where, recently a lot of bands like in the pop world have come out and they have their 2 or 3 years, and it's expected that they would go their own ways and end. But I mean, really, you last as long as you do good music. I think a lot of bands have come and gone in the past, come because the band split up.
Well, you've only just had your second birthday really together, haven't you? Was it
Yeah.
September 2002?
Third.
Birthday, beg your
In
pardon.
release.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so hang on, it was, let me get this right. Who met who first? Matty
Yeah, and James.
met James because you'd won a drum kit and you were having a fantastic time and built a band together. Am I right on this?
Well, I used to be in another band called Sabotage.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
Sabotage. No, I met James. We just started writing songs and stuff. We didn't really know what sort of band we were going to
In
be.
James's house.
Yeah, I moved in with James's family.
Yeah.
Actually.
And then you thought, we can't do it with 2, we need 3. So you put an advert in the
Well,
paper.
we were first looking for 4.
Oh, really?
We thought we'd need 4.
Piece, but then we held an audition, and Charlie came down to London and performed for us.
Yeah, Charlie was as good as 2 people put together, so he didn't need
But you chose him immediately, right? Just instantly you thought, this is the right guy.
Well, he played Solar Side on Runaway Train, and it was kind of, and I don't know, he played, he sung really well, and he wrote songs as well. We had some songs that he'd written that were really great, so we're like, it was immediately like he was
Kind of
really-
clicked.
What would be, though, for you guys, where almost anything's possible right now, is that you're about as hot as it gets in British pop music, right? What is the ambition that drives you? What would be the one thing where you'd sit back and think, that's why we came into this?
I think
Apart from Hugh Hefner's
Yeah,
Playboy Mansion. You may have already achieved it, but...
That's kind of a weird question, because it does feel like you're sort of setting yourself new goals, sort of month by month. Because for most of our lives, I think it was just to have a record that we'd written that was in the shops, up against all these amazing
Also,
artists,
yeah.
and like.
Then have a number one and so on.
Yeah, exactly.
Every
Sort of
time-
things happen.
Every time we're on tour or in the studio, I think this is why I'm in a band. That's the reason I wanted to do music in the first place. When we do tours and we're in the studio,
Yeah, different things.
it's the best time.
Different things definitely start to kind of excite you. For example, to begin with, just getting an album out was the buzz for all of us. But I think like as time goes on, like you learn about new artists and you look forward to kind of doing different kinds of music.
What about your politics? Because there's a little bit of a controversy here. You appeared to be suggesting in Tatler magazine that you're Tory boys. I mean, this is very uncool, guys. I mean, what's the truth about all that?
Basically, well, I said something.
no one votes for Michael Howard at all. You might be the only 3 left.
I said something as a joke, as a silly joke about tax, just being silly, and it got turned into this big thing. You wouldn't believe the amount of trouble I've had.
So what are your politics? I mean, you're obviously...
we stay away from politics.
Yeah, I choose very hard.
I kind of think people that in bands that talk about politics kind of we're in a band and we play music. We're not politicians, so.
How old are you all anyway?
21.
21, 21,
19.
19. You see, were you interested in politics at that age?
I was actually, yeah.
I am interested in it, but it's like
I bet they are too.
if people express their views, then
Yeah, it's just
it's
that
going to be talked about, isn't it? So you might as well just keep it
if
to
we
yourself.
voice our opinions, it just causes more trouble than it's worth. So there's no point.
I mean, was it a
even
crushing
talking
blow when Michael Howard revealed he hadn't actually heard of you? Or was that a great accolade, do you think?
Yeah.
about it? I think apparently they were talking about us in the House of Commons, which was a bit odd.
They were, you were debating.
weird.
Yeah, you were debating.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because he did actually say, I mean, to be fair, guys, you did actually say that you were Tory voters in this interview.
Well, somebody printed that. I don't mean to say they said
Well, it was
it.
Tatler magazine, and it was a posh boys magazine, wasn't it? You know what I mean? But you do come across as possible conservative.
I think the way I see it is everyone has an opinion, but I think if people that are in the media kind of express it, then it gets turned every which way. So I think it's better we just keep it to ourselves.
Stay out of it
Yeah.
now.
It's
Hey,
just,
listen, the important thing is that you've got a new album out. It's called Busted Live, A Ticket for
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
You've taken a single from it, which is released...
She wants to be me.
She Wants to Be Me, which is like a kind of a stalking girlfriend who wants to morph into...
Yes.
A guy.
Strange.
It's kind of obsessed with you in some way.
Have you got any women like that at the moment?
No,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
There are about 50 downstairs who could fill the role.
Yeah,
I'm
I
quite
reckon
sure-
you could find a few stalkers today, guys.
Yeah,
Don't
we,
worry.
we earlier asked the girls downstairs if they would have questions for you, and they have, and here they are. Oh, everyone's going, oh, can we see these? Yes. Okay, here we go.
You could be any star other than yourselves. Who would you be and why?
Be any star.
Any star.
Interesting one.
Hugh Hefner?
It's not bad. Well, when I'm 78, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to have more questions from the girls later. We have run out of time a little bit more, but you're going to be here all morning, and and we're going to hear from you later, the new single.
Cool, man.
Thank you,
Thank you
James
very
and
much.
Charlie and Matt, thank you. Now, unfortunately, we can't